Hello and welcome. Right, just rolling up the character, you could say. Let's just knock the time down to... This is, as all of my Let's Plays are at the minute, I've literally gone to extremes, using only 100,000. I've got no... Yes, let's just start from the beginning, really, is probably the best way to start, I always think. So, statistics. We've not been on less than 1 minute, so you've seen me come in. 25 collectibles. And my settings are hard economy, 1 day months, 3 day seasons. I'll leave that off. I don't want any of this. It's, yeah, my extreme series was, I want it to be the ultimate in difficult, but where you've... Contract start would be the norm, but unfortunately FS25 at the minute, contracts are really battered. They're not working properly, so it really only leaves you with one option. This is brand new today, so it's probably, yeah, even though I love Cavalier's work, he is one of the best map makers out there, truthfully, in my personal opinion. But it's the day of release, so I would imagine there's going to be errors. I've yet to meet one that isn't. So, yeah, we'll start with 100 grand. We can't have, rules of engagement. Let's just turn this down to 0.5. The banks hate us. We can't take out any bank loans no matter what. Never. Nada. We cannot buy new equipment. It has to be the used equipment unless it's in the sales. We aren't at the beginning allowed a telehandler for the store because I could use that and abuse it. So we're on our own 2 feet. We only exist, just me, little old me, on my feet. No equipment unless... I always say this, and then I look at our thing, and Cavalier always left me loads of vehicles. No, he hasn't, thank goodness. This is a traditional start from scratch with nada. And just as we can see the map too... There is no green on that map. None at all. No, it's only this middle section here. So, yeah, no green on this at all. All white. So, we don't own anything. We've got no equipment. Just us on our feet and 100 grand. Not even in the bank because the bank don't like us. Yeah, in my back pocket. On my card, loaded, you could say. So 100 grand, it's not a lot really. Say contracts are out because they're not terribly good. And I've tried a few of these at the beginning of the Extreme series. I did try to do contract slots and some work, some don't. So I decided like, well, the only reliable thing left in the game really is buying and selling, which is a good feature I like. All of these things, even the contracts, they're all repetitive. So and it is the game. You cannot make the game be something it isn't. It is what it is at present. So, yeah, did I explain fully? Now, we're allowed to buy... The one thing, when I said we're not allowed to buy anything new, we can buy new things up to 5 grand, 5,000. We can also buy my self-made flatbeds, any telehandler tools or front loaders or weights, and anything up to 5 grand, which is not a lot, as we all know. So that's the only exceptions to that. I think that's everything. So we only buy used or in the sales, and we've got 100 grand in our back pocket. So let's first of all make a plan on like what is the field prices like, where is the store, all the usual things. The store is there. Yep, and I always like to be fairly close to the store. Looks like this is the farm, not too far away in the middle centre of this. Are we going to buy that in time? Maybe. How much would that be if we did strike it lucky? Oh, not an awful lot really, and you get that massive field with it as well, which I would imagine is animals, knowing Cavalier. So... and that looks like a production as well. So if we were to start, what would be the cheapest field we could possibly stick a generator down is what I'm thinking. 33 is 12, looks tiny. 20,920. I still wouldn't do that straight away. We could see that there were things in the store. So let's go. Can we Have we got, oh, 100,008. So we're going to obviously buy and sell things. So let's pop down to the store. I'm going to use tab right at the beginning. Which we could say I've caught the bus. It's, oh, stop and go. I can't stand that. I did almost everything. I always stop, forget. Hey, I never do that. Automatic engine. So I usually do a save game just in case anything goes wrong, because the game is still a year on. It's still volatile. It really is. I was saying to Kevin the other day, if a modder had released Kinleg, it would never have got past testing. It's true. It is that bad. It's yeah. I mean, ooh, I can't pretend it. Yeah, beautiful. I love it when it's nice like that. And let's be honest, we really do. Oh wow! Now that is a fantastic. What's that old saying? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. We're not going to look for them. If we bump into them like that, then we will do. And that was obviously a gift, because we're literally right down at this store. Now let's have a look. I have a feeling Cavalier always done it like a lot of them inside the shed, which I'm not a massive fan of. Oh, he hasn't. No, he's not at all. Fantastic. So it's here. Right, so if it allows us, let's stick some marks down. I'm trying to do this on all maps just so as it gets easy. So, and I have got the mod on that allows you to usually like paint areas. I always find the green on this is probably the best. And inside each of those two corners, just so as you can roughly see, apart from the refraction. So now we should really be able to switch that off and just see the green blobs. If I can click on the off. Yeah, fantastic. So that is where we're aiming for. So let's grab the Forterra, which I seem to have... It was literally right behind you. Right behind you. Right, we are in play now, so let's crack on. So yeah, the eventual thing is to buy the farm, which looks very, very reasonable, as most of the time Cavalier always are. So I'm quite pleased. I've been battling mods all day long, and I've come to the conclusion that I ought to rely on my own knowledge and not the AI, because boy oh boy has it led me down a garden path today of like things where it stated this and I did it and it just didn't. Sometimes the logic seems sound, but really it can just take you right down the garden path at times, and it really did. So we could do that. At the beginning, I'm going to allow anything to happen, like we can do anything. Now the other thing is, obviously when we've sold these, they're gone. So sometimes I would have been better really to actually keep the other one. So that one is probably, well, yeah, we don't have to, yeah, we can sell one thing at a time. It is true, we could actually be sensible. The other plan, of course, is that we can buy things for ourselves eventually. But obviously we've got to juggle this all with 100 grand. So it's like, yeah, you've got to be sort of careful. I mean, we got that beautiful bonus, which now that was a real piece of good luck. I don't mind that kind of thing going on. Stick these two straight back in that box. Then we'll sell those. We'll buy every last little loose item we can. And then we'll go through till about dinner time. I've got to be honest, because I have done all extremes recently, the same as my Kinleg, although Kinleg was broken and didn't show very much. It was sort of slower than any other map, and it is just Kinleg that's broken. I've sort of like checked it, other maps, and it's fine. It's just as it ever has been, so... Oh, so you can go slightly out of the box as well, because that's not in the box, is it? Oh, it's technically, its wheels were about on the edge, so I don't know. I think that was definitely all right. No, we don't want any. Oh, no. You've got to be careful of those options. Yeah, what I was about to say was I have done this a lot. So you sort of... It has also been refined. Giants and modders have been making changes to options and things like that. Because when this was first a thing, many modders, they had options that you lost if you bought them with those options on. I've noticed quite a few of the big fence that I've had in the game for quite a while. A lot of those are losing their options that would charge you. I mean, you can still buy them, but they don't start with them, and you can remove them, which is something you couldn't do before, which is really quite amazing. So this, to me, is probably the only safe way at the beginning where you could really run something like this an extreme and guarantee that you could make a little bit of cash. Because, yeah, I still tried contracts again on another map a few days ago. Ooh. Why is that? That is definitely in. Why is that? That is true. Why is that actually not showing? Maybe on the edge of the two? Yeah, maybe on the... I don't know. I don't understand the logic. It can be a bit temperamental. Yes, I've been battling all day, and the one conclusion I came to at the end, I was trying to make pallets that use my pallets instead of the base game pallets. Now, I know how to do it with custom field types. I'm no stranger to this at all, because I've obviously made lots of mods myself. Lots and lots of placeables is probably the thing I know better than anything else. Right, so the Flegel Noah. And it hasn't got a front 3-point link, so you can't do both. Yes, I've been battling with it for days, and I've got it partially to work. I've got it to work, and it's trying to override the base game files, which is the way that Top Ace did it in FS25. Now, I don't know if Giants still allow this, or whether it's a complete change in FS25, but couldn't get it to work. Now that is not bad. Not for, you know, like one morning's, you know, like buying. That's quite good. It's very unusual, that kind of... Obviously, we got 40 grand as well. Now, of course, we can order things. We can do that straight away if we wish. But at the minute, with this amount of cash, I just think that you've got to rely a little bit on luck. A little. Right, so let's go through to about dinner time, 1-ish, I think. Or maybe 2:30. It's difficult to stop it when you go that high, so that's definitely not going to happen. We'd need a front loader to guarantee that you could shift that. That needs anything with a front 3-point link or anything that can push it. So, yeah, that's the only thing I'm going to risk. It is like playing cards in a way. It is. As I said, you're relying on things dropping and stuff like that. Let's go till about 5. Let's see what else has dropped. You know, obviously the big things, they're what you want, but not when you've not got any cash. Definitely not. Now, I think we could probably do with something. Let's buy that as well. Now then, yeah, that's true. There is a couple of tiny tractors that are so really cheap and cheerful. Hoses are fantastic. What's the most you can go up to? It's a 102. That's not bad. Fantastic. Right, so then let's run on till, yeah, I don't think there's anything else we can risk or afford in that little lot there, really. So let's go through till, let's switch my light on, 12 o'clock at night. Oh, okay, that's hitting speeds I don't ever want to sort of touch. Right, okay, 2 o'clock in the morning. Ooh. Let's grab that first. Options are really, I am repeating myself, aren't I? Yeah, I'm really tired. I do apologise, but I've been battling mods all day long. I thought, just forget about it. It teaches you a lot. It does, really. All of these type of things, they do teach you. And again, it's more the more hands-on you get with modding, the better. There's no better way than literally to mod than to get good at mods. It's the best way. So even though it's like, it seems futile, I didn't, all of the things that we've done, that I say we, because I did have a lot of help from the AI, but I've got to be honest, it's misleading. It changes its mind. It's you know, like it says one thing one time and then you ask it something else and it like contradicts itself. So, ooh. So we need to, why has it not got it's obviously not got a front 3-button link. Obviously not. So in some ways, I think my previous way, which was to check other modders' work and see and grab bits of lines of code and think, right, okay, that's how you do that. That, I think, to me, is the best way to actually like learn to mod. Other modders, I don't think there's a better way. Alright, so 174, still got that. I'm tempted to keep. You can take most of the stuff off this and just leave it as a tractor. Can we afford anything else? Yes. Yeah, if we can afford a tractor. I mean, the one we've actually ordered, I like that one a lot. It's a real cracker. I've used it on another Let's Play. To be honest, I found a map that I really love. Only just been released a few days ago. Another Extreme series. But again, I started to hit problems due to the modding that I was doing on the pallets. So again, I've left it. And I've not actually done, and that is Hazelnut Farm. Fantastic, a beautiful little map, and I mean, it's one of the smallest maps I've ever seen, and yet it's absolutely beautiful. So can we afford, still no, we can't, can we? No, so we need to sell that then. Right, 194, so we can afford you, and it has got the front 3-button link. I'm going to keep it as is at 170 horsepower for 43,000. I don't think you can do much better than that. Can have a front loader on it as well, so that means we can afford that. That has got an option you cannot take off. I think that's got a front toucher type. Yeah, I did bought this last time on Kinleg and I bought it wrongly. So this time I'm trying to learn my lesson and pay better attention to actually what I'm buying. So I'd like to keep this at least for a while, because we really could do with having a tractor and this can have a front loader, so you could make this into a bit of an everything, and it's very reasonable. But again, it all depends if you get the other tractor drop that's even cheaper, because it's all about cashing in your chips. It's all this is all about, really. Yeah, it is a sort of, they are bargaining chips. It's as simple as that. It's like playing a game of cards is the best analogy I can sort of think of. Fantastic. So 148. No, we're never going to get up to those lofty sort of amounts. So let's just go straight through to the morning. And the used equipment mod is a bit of a wild card. It is a bit unpredictable, which I like in a way, because the fact is it is unpredictable, which means you can't predict it no matter how much you've used it, or it doesn't always drop quickly. Sometimes you can go for like 6 months before something, and then other times it'll drop lots and lots, and it's a bit... What is my option? What is that option? Fantastic. Oh, I didn't grab me a little G866 mods, did I? Yes, I've really absolutely been doing an awful lot of modding, which I'm really chuffed about, but I've not actually got much to show for it. It's that no, I'd sooner have a proper, even though I do love the Manitou, and I love the fact that it's can't think of the name. Yeah, I always forget the name of that. That's it. Yeah, I always want to say swivel axle, but it's not a swivel axle at all. It's oh, it's on the tip of my brain. I'm thinking, honest. Yeah, it's articulated. That's the word. It is. Yeah, I do love my articulated tractors and telehandlers. They are a personal favourite of mine. So, oh. Right, so 163. Can't have a loader, can you, on it, unfortunately. Which is why I prefer. I'm going to stick to the. I do love. I've got to be honest. One of my favourite tractors. Good, solid workhorse. Nothing fancy in the K7250 or the 72 series. It's a real. I really do love it. But again, it is true. It's nothing special, you know, in that way. So 167. I think. Let's do. Can we push that header in as well? Ooh. Will it let us push it sideways? Not bad. 200 grand. So we could, I think we could just about squeeze. Let's just go, yeah, just, you can sometimes kick yourself because, yeah, we're in the day. Let's do it later on today. I know I'm going to think about putting a generator down by a little field as we saw, but you never know what's going to happen like at dinner or... Right. Oh, I nearly got to tea time. And that's a bad thing as well. You overshoot. Ooh, now that I like. Yeah, I do. It's a real beaut. Yeah, you do have to weigh up. Is it? So there are certain things that you do get in the game that are good, and there are some things that are like stupendous, like once in a lifetime deals, and they're the ones I like. Always think, can't afford to miss out on that one. Now that is this the one that has got a? No, it hasn't. It's not got a... front loader. That's what I was trying to say. Because if it did, it would have really been a good... Mind, it's still not as good as the case. That can be like either there's a 246 model and a 270 model, a Steyr one. Not sure what Dogface has done. Right, smashing. So 230. I think now, I do think it's true. I think what we'll do is we'll buy it because it is good, don't get me wrong, but what I mean is it's worth more to us for cash at present. It's £5,000 in the bank at least for selling it, so it does help. I think what I'm going to do, because I think this is a little bit boring, this particular bit, you get the gist. This is sort of like what we're going to be doing all the way through the winter. And yeah, we shall see what happens. So I'm going to say my words and I'm going to go into a time. Now, it's one thing I was going to say. Yeah, Kevin left a comment, and it is true. Really, on the first of any series, what I really should do is explain sort of like what I do and what I believe. Now, I've always sort of wanted to do what I call chain of evidence to prove that this Let's Play is a record of what we did from the second we came on the map to when we leave. Now, there's a few times where recently I haven't shown that, and I think there are some times when I'm not too, but I think there's certain things where it's obvious if you've cheated or not. But the other thing is I want it to be a record of the farm. I don't want there to be missing bits. So the bits that are a bit boring, I tend to time-lapse. So obviously you don't have to watch all the time-lapses. But it's just a record of everything. And if I miss something out, then I'm not keeping an accurate record. Unless, of course, you lose sort of bits of episodes, which that does happen to the best of us, so that I can't do anything about, and it's always one of those things as a content creator that it does actually happen. So right, let's see, are we gonna buy? We could, I suppose we could do that. We could be patient though and wait for the other one as well. Yeah, let's just crack on. Go through till about 6. No, it'll be getting dark then. Let's go through till 2400 hours. We may have lost a bit of something by doing that, but... Ooh, now the red rock. That is going to be useful. Now the rumbler has options that you really don't want. Anything more than the 2000, it's not worth buying. It will actually cost you. That's not bad. That's probably not a bad thing for us to actually have. So I'm going to buy this now. I'm going to go out. I'm going to change. I'm going to grab a pin hitch. And we're going to buy a tool, which we did so we could do in the miscellaneous section. If I can actually click the bar, it seems to be resisting me. I do like this actually when it is. Which does mean we've got a 3-point link on the back of this, which does make it a tractor. By, you know, not literally, but for all intents and purposes now, we can actually shift things around that a tractor could, which is very, very useful. Let's grab a telehandler tool. And again, I always like to do this because you know, we can all have favourites, and I have got favourites, or have formed favourites, and I've been using NASA's for a while, and I've used this by Chris S. and Riley S. And it's, yeah, and I do like the unrealistic. Let's just keep it black. And I've swapped. I like this one more than NASA's. Quite a few reasons. NASA's does go a little bit wider than it should, so you can often grab packs. Now this does, if you do the unrealistic option that we've chosen now, if you go for standard, it doesn't. But I like the way that it's a bit like the big bag handler. It reminds me very much of that, where it casts its things outwards and grabs things around. So it's really useful. But it's also solid, which I don't like. But so we're going to sell the tractor now. Because we've technically got the ability to add. Are we going to sell that? I think we ought to keep hold of it. It's a really good sort of tractor, and it was quite cheap. I know if it means the difference between us losing something big in a few minutes, that would be a different sort of matter entirely, but I think it's just too useful to us, as a proper tractor when we get going. Yeah, what I'm finding is when I use NASA's, I often have to click it 2 or 3 times. Now, I thought it was the game that was misbehaving, but then when I changed to Chris S. and Riley S.'s one, I click it once and it works. It's the only time it didn't work once was my mistake, as in I didn't cast. I can't remember. It was my mistake. I just can't remember what I didn't do, but I know it was my mistake. I do think it is true. You've got to figure out whether it's a good or a bad thing to sell certain things, and I think that will be a bad one. So can we lift that? We shall see, and we're going to have a go. Anything as well. I can't use like trickery. I can lift something and push it and do all the physical things that I could actually do in real life. But I can't use resets, as in for tactical reasons or anything like that. But I mean, if I'm tipped over, then obviously that I'm not trying to say that we can't use resets, but just we can't try and tactically reset something to a certain position or use store deliveries or anything like that just to suit ourselves. I'm not allowing any kind of trickery is what I'm sort of saying. Okay. That didn't quite work to plan. I don't know why the Lemken's not appearing. That's a bit of an odd one. Unless it's the fact that it's the rear of the bit is the bit that's important for this one. I'm not really sure. I would have thought that was... Fantastic. Wow, we are doing well. I'm quite pleased with that. This one might be a bit of a beast. Some of these are good and some of them are not good at all. Did we buy that tanker? It was something like this, actually. You can't lift it, but you can sort of it towards you. Certain telehandlers are better than others for this. Right, anyway, I said I was going to time lapse it, didn't I? Yeah, I just wanted to explain about the channel and like the way that I do things, because it is true. There have been the odd occasion I've just like sort of said, right, I'm going to go straight into a time lapse, and it's not necessarily, a lot of people don't like time lapses. I've tried, I've always pointed out that certain things can be sort of cheated, even though I'm not for 1 minute accusing certain content creators of cheating. Right, anyway, let's go into that time lapse. Yeah, I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Right, I think that's pretty much not a bad thing. I think I'm going to leave it there for a first session. The one thing I am going to do, though, is I've looked at this. I thought, am I going to do what I normally do, or are we going to like do something a little bit different? And I thought, it's true. I was like eyeing up the cow farm as I always would, and I'd like, I'd like to like do that. And I thought, yeah, but you would, but like you wouldn't want to do the pigs. So why don't you go for the pigs for a change and do something completely different and shake it up a little bit? So that's what we've done. Yeah, and I also did see, I did think this is the new one with the fantastic angles, and I thought I'd really love to have a go at this. It really does go really far both ways. It's been modified by a modder, and I'd like to give it a shot. It is almost a second tractor, really, because you can have an adapter on the front and the back. The only thing that lets it down, really, it wouldn't be a bad yard tractor, is my point. It's got a 3-point link. You can have the adapter on the front, and it could be a tractor, and then also it can be the telehandler as well. Or, I was going to leave this down here for the store. It is ours, but I could. Then it doesn't matter if I like go across the map or anything like that. So that's why I was going to keep the red one. And then obviously when we got the Merlot, and I noticed it was the new one, I thought, that was a very good price for that one as well. But I thought I'd really like to have a go at that. So that's what we're going to have down at the farm. It's almost like a second tractor. We've got the beautiful 102 horsepower old tractor, which is also good. I obviously bought the wrong attachment, even though it's the right model. We've got this beautiful thing which will upgrade to be the lead tractor. And we've got that for when we do get a lorry. I thought, well, if we're going to do pigs, if we're going to fatten pigs up properly, then let's do that. Let's do something for it. So there's 84, I think it was. Let's have a bit of a wander around the farm. And I did see, I can't pretend I didn't, in here. Yeah, I can't pretend I didn't see that up there. So we will come and grab that. I wasn't looking for it, but I did. I mean, I don't mean I wasn't looking for it, but what I mean is I wasn't looking for it per se, as in like I'm looking everywhere for it, but I did notice it straight away. So we need to grab a telehandler and grab that, which was going to give us another however much it gives us. Yeah, this is our farm. Yeah, quite a lot of land with it as well. I think that the other place is ours too. Obviously, I know. Yeah, this one over here. It's like a tied cottage by the look of it. I don't think this is ours though. But I mean, as in like it is tied with the land. But I think this is ours. I don't know if it's a sleep trigger, or what, or whether we can put a mat down, or what. Again, I'm not sure. So. But it's definitely with the property. So yeah, I think it's a mat jobby by the look of it. But yeah, this is our cottage. And then, oh, I can't pretend I didn't see that one as well. Wow. I can't. Oh, they are 40 grand each. That is amazing. So yeah, we have a farmyard. I'm quite pleased. So that's even more than I expected. 327,000. It's the usual clutter that you'd find in a farmyard, like all of but I just, something about it, when I looked at it, I thought, I like the character of this. So we've got a standard farmer. I might add another one, but leave that one just as is, for like if we do grains or anything like that. Quite a few nice sheds, and they are nice sheds as well, really big. Beautiful sheds. I've got to be honest, this is, to me, a bit of a departure from... now, is any of this a repair point, or... I can't say it's not, but that's what it looks like. It does look like pallet storage, definitely. And then a bit of a... Oh, wow. I was not looking for that either, but it's... Yeah, okay. Wow, fantastic. No, it was not... It's not every day you find 40,000 on a rubble heap like that. So we've got that here. Plenty of room here. Bit of a shed going on for bales. And Looked like another silo, but oh. Okay, okay. I don't know that you can get that one. You might be able to get it at the back. Yeah. Sometimes some problems, you just got to think outside of the box. I couldn't resist. I could not resist. That was just like, even I can sort of see that kind of thing. That's amazing, is it not? Now, I don't know if we can... these are the type of boxes where these sort of like, I would literally... Yeah, I would. That kind of box, I would hide. It just takes up room. I'm going to leave this slot for a bit of like authentic clutter. This is big though. Can we... I mean, is it... Yeah, let's like look. Are we allowed to? It doesn't do anything. It's like an old silo or... It's B mode. Can we remove you or do we have to hide you? Right, okay. I have to hide it. As if Cavalier Roy allows it. Yeah. Okay, so it's like more than one. Fantastic. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I think we best remove the pipe, or else it looks a bit odd then, doesn't it? Really. If we can. Oh no. Oh no. We can always put things back if like it's... Yeah. So let's open the... Is it Alt and H? Control Alt and H. Control and H. H. Shift and H. Okay. We'll have to reconvene on that one. That didn't quite work to plan, did it? But yeah, so not bad. 407,000. So I think we can afford some pigs, which is quite amazing. And it does tell us how many. I think it's 80 something. So we will have those put in here. Old. Yeah, there's quite a bit of room for a few productions is what I was thinking. Obviously, we don't get the field or anything, but we're right next door to it. Literally right next door to it. So, yeah, there's not much we can do down this end. But yeah, I'm really quite bowled over by that. That's not bad for a first sort of like a session's work. Up to 407,000. A bit of equipment. So more object storage, pallets, storage, something like that. Or a bit of both. Do quite like that. Can we hide this? Yay, fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, so that... I'm not going to go mad, but yeah, so where... I'd imagine it's somewhere... here-ish? I'd imagine. Switch the same. Okay. Yeah, the amount of times I do this, even with my own mods, right? I'll have walked right through. Oh, that is the point. It's not that. Yeah, the mod that I rely on that tells you additional information, it usually tells you like, it's down here. So actually, it didn't tell me anything because that wasn't actually the right place. Yeah, what I mean is though, normally it would tell you like, you know, like there's something here, but it doesn't. See, you have to press it like that now. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for little tinies and we're going to fatten them up, and you can feed them corn, wheat, barley, canola and sugar beets. Additionally, they require water. This is a piglet. Animals that are healthy and older than 6 months can reproduce. So when you consider the cost of those, I think we'll buy them at 0 months. Oh, yeah, it's a lot more. It is a lot more. So I think we will. I don't think there's any difference in price at all. So, healthy and older can reproduce. And I think we'll just literally fatten up and sell. I think that's what we're going to do as like our business. We'll see how the pigs treat us. We will have a... Try to think of it. Yeah, so we're going to need water as well. So let's have one of my little bypoints, which is representative of a little silo. Yeah, we will put the sign up as well, but like not this session. I'm not going to try to do everything all in one go. So let's have our think actually this one suits probably my other one. Yeah, that one for a change, I think. A little tiny silo. It is not, it's a bike one. What I mean is it looks like the kind of silo, and it matches sort of very closely with the style of that, I think. Yeah, no, it's getting too close. That's why it's like jumping up out of the ground. Yeah, I'd say that's... Seeing how close I can get before it... Fantastic. Let's just level that. And then just soften around the edges. And then we'll have a look down, literally. So yeah, it should be fine. Buying station. Maybe we ought to take that sign off for this kind of thing, really. So switch that off. So it needs water. Yeah, we've got a tanker. I knew we'd need a tanker. I know they're really important. We've not got any kind of trailer, though, have we? And we can't really run a farm without one. So I think what we're going to do... It's true, actually. Yeah, it's amazing now. I don't think we saw a single one, did we? So I think what we'll do is we'll order... Whichever comes first, we'll order that with fine used. I've got to play by the rules. I mean, there's an awful lot of stuff that's still outstanding. Find used. But also probably something like a fertilizer spread. I know we've not got it yet, but that's my point. I think really, we're going to buy a Cylon. Let's just buy that for now. When I say buy that, I mean like, you know, like look for it. Cedar planter. 9 meter, I think, would suit this. The Pilatus Mark II, I would say. Yeah, no, we sold it. We did. We've done the lorry. I think, yes, this time we're going to go grab them so there's no transport fees, and we're going to sell them so there's no transport fees as well. Just ask somebody to grab that old combine off the yard. Just, yeah. Yeah, we do. Just tidy the yard up a little bit. And then there's plenty of room for us to stick things down. So I'm quite pleased. Yeah, well, no, leave that. A bit of authenticity, I don't think, hurts at all. So I'm going to leave it there. Up to 396,993. The scene is set, but we do need to go a little bit further, though. If we're going to, like, go on and grab the animals, we need the truck. And if we're going to do that, we can't, like, just burst out. We also need trailers for feeding. So we've got to either rely on the sales for a little bit more, or hopefully one of those items will come through. So yeah, all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.